But
Yeah,
I switched off of Hunt Down V anyway.
So we're pretty happy that he's not playing.
Oh yeah, you have to be ecstatic because now it's a matchup that's fair and he's well versed in it. He's done very well in both of these. So
yeah, he went 6-0 on day one. Every game was Hunt Down versus Legend. Oh, sorry, Hunt Down versus.
Actually, one game was Hunt Down regular versus HITCO.
Yeah, and then the Hunt Down regular got the Von A and two other and got 3 Twixes out turn one, and somehow he still won.
Yeah, my game with him was an interesting one.
Yeah, he got evac control, which was early, which really changes things.
Yeah, my game was weird. I had bridge, but the bottom 2 cards were both my sites, so that was
I saw.
And I
you didn't get your activation, and I
also the cards that I drew were doubles of all of the family members, so my hand was literally the full family times 2.
Well, I was gonna say I know in
and then all the adders and the evac, so it was a weird game.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think Quirin's Dark is pretty good against HITCO though. I think it's well built against HITCO, although the Padme situation is a thing. I think that's a card to look for being really important in this match. I don't know if that's what we're starting with.
Quirin is playing light side. Joe is on dark side.
I think it's the other way around.
No. So Joe is over here. All of his information is right here, and Quirin is over on this side. So
I don't see. Oh, it started. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Catwall is light. Okay, Joe's dark.
Yes.
All right, so I'm getting a little used to the new interface. This is pretty cool. So Eric, what's the game plan with Dark? I actually had a lot of trouble figuring out a game plan of what I wanted to do.
I'm not. I think what you want to do is you want to get out Vader and you want to steer Luke to the site of your choice, and then you can just kind of go. Joe is running, I believe, 4 times of the hatred card to add a destiny, and then you'll be able to just do hit and runs at the site of your choice.
That makes sense. I know that both players have sack, which will add some texture to this matchup.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are running 1 or 2 times sense in Hunt Down, and then on HITCO, we saw one from Quirin last match. But I don't know how much he plays other than that.
He has 2 senses. I played him. I saw every.
Yeah, I got to say, this. I've seen this matchup a lot, and it really comes down to who draws their tricks and who draws their battle destinies.
Mm-hmm.
If Hunt Down is able to crack 9 forfeit and make them lose Jedi Luke and the other thing that they have to reinforce their site.
Yeah, I found that Yoda is super valuable. Obviously, the force field snipers. So Quirin has 2 Lord Vader, which one thing I've noticed a lot is that because Hunt Down V has so many 4s and 3s, it's actually kind of hard to hit both Yoda and Luke sometimes. And Lord Vader changes that a lot if you're not fighting at the 3rd marker. So I think one thing to sort of look out for is the value of the swings and stuff like you were beaten on Padme or sniper on Padme could be really good for Quirin.
Mm-hmm.
I think this matchup's going to be interesting. Quirin also has both sites, which is a difference from a lot of people.
Joe's not saying any force here. He's drawing up to 15, so.
Joe is Hunt Down here.
Yes. And it's on Joe's first turn.
So Joe hit the site. That's one of the most important cards to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't get out his other site though, so yeah, he doesn't have the Malachir site. He does have the flagship.
How did that texture? How was that? Did he get a verify or no? Or did he bridge first?
I believe he. Yeah, he used the objective, searched, didn't miss the other site, and then he deployed the bridge.
Okay. So he'll probably lose. There's a few irrelevant cards in this matchup, like a ship. Surface defense is not irrelevant, but it seems like
I'm a little surprised he lost that.
I actually like that card in this matchup. Eric, does he still have the Day Long Remembered?
No, that came out.
Yeah, I liked it for the mid game pod race with the Grand Inquisitor, but it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, that's how we came down on it too.
Okay, Quirin lost Corn Horn to the Visage.
Do you like drawing up early here?
So here you kind of said a very similar thing to what I felt. I felt like if you had the ability to play a turn 1 Vader and you had like a force field or a sniper or Hujix or a Gik, I'm sorry, and you just had the ability to sort of not lose the game on turn 1, it was good. You also had the ability to maybe risk it and bluff it. But if you don't have those cards, I feel like you need to draw. The one thing I don't love from Joe, I don't love drawing all of it. I like the concept of drawing like and saving like 3 or 4. So then you can theoretically go Vader, Saber, Inquisitor, Adder, and force light side to not be able to go aggressively either. The way he played it now, it's like he doesn't have the ability to really go super aggressively himself. With like 2 things.
I imagine the sight was just the bottom card, and that's why he had to do it that way.
That was one really frustrating thing about this deck is that's just the variance of where that sight is in this matchup is pretty frustrating.
Yeah, he's going to get out a second grabber, get out the sight from his hand, and he's just going to draw up again.
Wow.
I mean, he's got... Looks like he's got up to 19 right now in his hand. Oh, there's a 20.
Now, he has both grabbers. I think the grabber's pretty good in this matchup, the second one, because you can grab Deflection and Anakin.
Do you even want to... So I was watching your match, and I saw you grab Anakin, and it didn't seem to be that useful against Inquisitors because their forfeit is just so low.
It was more about him. So we had... Our version of the play testing revolved a little bit more about light side invading the other site. And Anakin was able to bounce Prophecy back. Joe put his guys at the village, so it was less relevant, but he also lost a deflection on turn 1 or 2. So I felt like it was worth it. And I had something special as well to like hopefully get the deflection later along with Sense. So
yeah, we saw the second grabber, and we figured that made sense, but it still seemed like you want Odin or Blaster Deflection.
One site, and he's able to like say stack the other one with everything in the war. So our play testing was a little bit more like slow at that last week. This week coming, this last 4 or 5 days, I played a little faster as Huntdown V when I was still planning on playing Huntdown V, and I played it yesterday. But prior to it, it was much more slow where you were building up these 15, 16 card hands and playing like Ahsoka, Luke, Yoda to the other dark side site, making it impossible for them to fight, and then bouncing your Prophecy back and actually draining for 4 that you couldn't enter the Bureaucrat, and looping the Anakin. Not looping the Anakin, but, if Anakin's not grabbed, always having Prophecy at your site, at a dark side site.
Oh, yeah. So you get around Enter the Bureaucrat by being at their site.
Yeah, you get around Enter the Bureaucrat by being at their... Hold on. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so Quirin comes down with Jedi, Luke, and Yoda, which is That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, just got the mess roll move.
Well, Joe has 0. He saved himself 0 force.
Yeah.
That is. Sorry, I'm watching from this new interface and it's not quite used to it.
Yeah, same. If you're developing such a big hand, I mean, 18's really big, and he's going even larger. I mean, these games, I've seen these games happen, but they generally are dark side saves 5, saves 6, and then is able to play like 3 Inquisitors and a Vader and has every trick. But in that, he's only activating 11.
Sorry.
It is a little hard, I will say this, with the new interface to sort of know whose turn it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's understandable. I moved the Discord window up a little bit higher, so unfortunately, for some reason, every time it's not locked on the screen minimizes every time I move something.
All right, so
that should work.
Flashing blue.
So Quirin has 3 saved. I feel like Joe wants to attack into that because of the play we were just saying. Like if he just plays if he uses Anakin and drains for 4.
Right. Also, I will say this card that's relevant here is Gift to the Mentor, and Quirin also has 2 Ahsokas. Quirin has 3 saved. So like,
I feel like Joe wants to attack into that because of the play we were just saying. Like if he just plays if he uses Anakin and drains for 4. Right.
Yeah, you can. So apparently, you can also move the camera around. I'm just doing this during Dro's deploy phase really quick. And then
Quirin also has 2 Ahsokas. Oh, that's cool.
I will say I haven't seen Joe draw such a large hand with Hunt Down, so I'm wondering if he just didn't find the cards he needed those first 2 turns.
I mean, you're looking for force field, you're looking for Vader, you're looking for snipers, you were beating those Inquisitors, adders, but the majority of those things are pretty common. The thing that I think that I have an issue with is that Joe has at 11 force, so what he's fighting with isn't going to kill Yoda unless he's able to hit Yoda. But at this point, Kieran's also got a pretty well versed hand. Like it's not like Kieran's been playing lightning fast and is just playing. So the Emperor's coming out.
Interesting.
Yeah, it seems like Joe is just playing really defensive right now.
I don't know why you'd want to play the lightsaber there. I mean, I guess you're concerned about him attacking into you, so it gives you.
So Eric, Joe doesn't have enter the rear cat or anything really to cancel drains, does he?
That wouldn't work there anyway. But this is actually a lot of the same mistakes that I made in the game against Joe. I played the saber sort of thinking I needed to have some defense there, but it just wasn't a good move. And then this is a spot where the Anakin becomes a situation where he doesn't even need to play it now. So what happens is Quirin can pay 3 to drain for 3. The prophecy moves over. He can play a card like Ahsoka would be ideal. And then when Joe drains, the prophecy will move there. But then prior to the next drain, Quirin can move it over. And that's really the spot where Dark is almost taking double what Light's taking. And then it also limits your activation as well. Sorry, I didn't realize that I was so delayed for people in the chat. Sorry about that, guys. I was lagging behind. I'm good now. I don't love this.
Yeah, especially in front of the Emperor. No, there's no reason to do the Jin there.
In front of a weapon. Kind of makes that weapon play decent. I don't think Force Lightning's in the deck anymore. I would have liked to see another guy being played to that site. Yoda and Luke has sort of, someone like Joe has beaten Yoda and Luke so far this tournament. But beating Yoda, Luke, and an EPP, or Yoda, Luke, and an Ahsoka, or Yoda, Luke, and a Padme is a much taller task.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here, I mean, if he wants to force drain, he's going to draw out Sniper, Dark Strike, which is just good.
Yeah, I guess trading Jin for a force for a sniper is actually a decent call. But I feel like maybe this funnels Joe into the right pathway. Like if Joe gets a successful battle here,
Mm-hmm.
he then has 2 sites.
I mean, he's in his deploy phase now, so he neglects to. He decides not to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joe snipering Jin's not the right play. This also could indicate sense from Quirin.
Quirin is playing the female interrupts.
And he has the female interrupt.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that card in HITCO. All right, so you see the classic guys. Now, you see the poke.
Mm. Let's see. This is Anakin Skywalker. That's just kind of big.
Yeah, but no shields, right?
Mm-mm.
So just get it right back. If he wants, he can use 1 force to get it right back. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got the secret plans. He doesn't have coward. And
yeah, you're.
And you got to think Joe has the there's a sense. But I was gonna say you got to think Joe has the Destiny 5 or the Destiny Adder as well.
Wow. Oh wow, we got a sack war here.
We get it. Oh my!
In 2000,
and he has another sense. So okay. Let's see.
Quirin still has 2 force, so
he could also play Clash or something here.
He could play Clash before the battle takes place if he's really concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And we also know that he plays Hujix, and he has 2 force, so maybe he has 1 force.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking, he has first strike.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing a first strike or anything in Joe's deck.
Plays Blast Reflection, that should be grabbed.
The sense grab is a weird one.
So if you stepped away, Joe played You Were Beaten.
Yep.
Quirin sensed. Joe sensed. Quirin played Alter.
Joe played another sense. Yeah.
And you grabbed this.
Oh, okay. Here, give me 1 second, guys.
Wise advice. So this is okay. Now this is where I would have liked to see like an EPP Obi-Wan or a Rey or an Ahsoka last turn to go with Yoda, because now Yoda would have lived, and now it's like he has to forfeit Yoda and probably uses Hujix as well. No, not the best destinies, but enough.
Only draws a 1. That's pretty big. But he has Jedi Levitation.
Mm. That's big too.
Yeah. His characters are still immune, so that's not good. So that's what Yoda in 3.
Yoda's forfeit 7.
Yeah, Yoda.
Yoda in 2, but he'll have to lose one from the Inquisitor as
2
well.
plus 1 is indeed pretty.
Well, no, yeah, because he lost the Chasm Walkway. He lost another Yoda. He still has one more to go. Okay, he'll lose the Hera. And there goes that Jedi levitation. So there goes both Yodas for Quirin.
Now, is he still playing Circle? Is that could be it?
I don't think it's in his list, but I'm not entirely sure. Hayes, Joe, and I were kind of going over, and Phil as well. We were going over his decks last night, and I went to bed at one point, and I think they continue to work on the hunt down a little bit.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a bug with the interface right now. Anytime I click off the screen minimizes. So sorry about that, everyone.
So Luke is still going to be you are beaten, and he has to work with.
And there's a Jin out, so he's actually under no pressure. Theoretically, Quirin could pass this turn. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's drawing cards. I would like to see Quirin save a bunch here, save. Maybe 6. I think he wants to stack this site heavy. He wants to see Padme, Obi-Wan, Rey. And he has the Obi-Wan. But he lost the other Yoda and he lost the Hera. Good cards.
So he's just drawn up here.
Yep.
And that makes sense because he's under no pressure.
No, I want to say Joe's playing Monarch in his deck too.
Now, Eric, would you if you had Sniper, would you Sniper Jin now to get 2 damage in?
I don't think I would. I would consider sniping Luke. But I don't think I'd want to do it unless I really knew I was going to hit him.
Yeah, it's like I was saying, it's not easy with that Vader.
And I think I'd rather just Vader stuck there, your Inquisitor stuck there, Luke stuck there.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Play some guys there, maybe. Trap Luke, perhaps. Sorry about the mess is decent right now.
Jed activates 7, uses 7 sister.
For Sniper? Because he drew a Sniper at one point. Would he have been able to get back to that? No. I don't think so. Sense? No. Unless he's just...
It's gotta be the Sniper.
Gets a Luke.
Sniper here is pretty massive. Lose 1, drain for 4. Almost probably have to go for it. It's such a good value.
I mean, he could check his destinies right now with the Emperor.
That's a good point. If I had Sniper, I think I would do it just because it's such a high value play if it works. I mean, you get the guy off the table, you drain for 4, and you could play another guy and sort of...
I mean, Eric already... Eric already placed his Walkling out of play, so you're not going to see him retrieve for the Saber.
Right.
So, and I think this is what Joe... I think this is Joe thinking right now.
Does he want a Sniper if he has it?
But I think...
if he has no escape, I mean, you definitely do it.
Mm-hmm.
I found no escape to be a pretty important card in this matchup, if at times.
No, I think he just passes into his deploy phase.
Trying to get some value.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Quirin does not fall for the. Oh. But the lightsabers will give them defense value plus, right? Yeah.
Mm.
Not his text.
Okay, see, I like the reinforcement from Joe, though. I mean, he's only got 7 cards in his hands now, though.
So what? I bet Joe has a Lana, and I think Kieran's playing 2, based off of what we saw against Paul Myers. Though maybe it's probably 2. It could just be 1. But with the sense already grabbed, Joe would be able to follow and wouldn't have to worry about like Lana or force field being grabbed at this point.
Yeah, those are 4 good guys. Those are not the bland bodies.
I don't know if rescue's the right grab.
No, I agree.
No, I don't think it is. You know what? Okay, so here's a play that I like for Quirin. Is Obi-Wan and gift to the mentor and just clear the site, presuming no sniper. Like first action, gift to the mentor.
Yeah, I mean,
and reset the board.
I was gonna say
Joe's got 7 cards. Quirin is up on cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be good. Quirin also does play the Luke adder and Bionic.
If Quirin did run away, he would have to. He's going to be eating a drain of 4.
Right, which is why I like just suicide. Not suicide necessarily, but I like being able to take this site down. I think if these guys live for dark, Quirin's not going to win the game. Even if he runs. Even if he runs and Joe doesn't follow. It's just not a winning proposition for him.
I mean, where does Quirin run to the?
Like if he runs to the village, it's like okay, cool. He drains for 4, and then next turn Joe can fight Luke, or he can not fight Luke. And it's like, I'm just happy here. I just hit you with a drain of 4. We're both losing to Visage, and I have a Grand Inquisitor out. So every time my Inquisitors kill your guys, I'm going to ping you. It's just like, Joe drew to his best card, then I think you need to kill them all.
Well, there's the sorry about the mess. I mean, you can't target Vader, but you can target any of those other characters. He's going to target Mara. Interesting enough.
I think that makes sense. Now, if he has a deflection,
but no, he's got the force field.
But that's fine because now.
Yeah, you bait out the force field here.
You bait it out, and if he does have the Destiny adder, now he definitely kills everything because he can kill Tarkin and Mara, and then if he draws 3 Destinies, that'll be enough to kill everything.
I mean, Joe could also draw a couple Destinies too. He's probably got one of the Destiny adders. He's
got Tarkin.
Yeah, he's got Tarkin.
No, I think what I'm saying, Dan, is like if everything dies, the board the game just resets because I don't think the sniper is going to be used on Jin this game.
There's a Bionic Hand.
Do we know if Bionic Hand has? Do we know if he's lost a gift to the mentor? I feel like he lost a gift to the mentor earlier.
I don't think he has yet. I mean, I could be wrong. I have been wrong before, so many other times.
It doesn't look like.
Yeah, I don't know how to look. I don't know how to scroll up that well, but
you can control F in the chat.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Well, there's an Ahsoka as well.
It's decent, I guess. I think you have to fight. You can't go into Joe's turn saying, you were beatens and snipers, or maybe I could be wrong, but I think you have to fight. Yeah, I like the fight.
And he does fight, so.
Yeah, there's the gift. Now the big thing to look for here is deflection is on something special, so that's actually fine for Quirin. If he can deflect one swing and then actually leave Luke out with the bionic hand, and if Joe loses all his guys, that's pretty hard for Joe to come back and fight the Luke.
Do you swing at Luke here?
And I think you have to swing at Luke twice.
You could use if he got the dark strike in hand, he could use it to add 3.
Yeah. So let's see. He draws a 3 for
He's got
Destiny.
a redraw on anything else. Ooh, that's interesting.
So Joe will fire at Luke. He draws a 3. He draws a 3. He cancels the 1 draw with Tarkin, so he draws another 3.
Wow.
And let's see what he draws. He draws a 5, so
That's
Luke's going to be hit here. Does he have the Sniper Dark Strike? Because if he has a Sniper Dark Strike here, that Oda Nestler combo won't come into play.
The classic. Yep, he does. Wow.
There it is.
Huge.
Now, as you said, though, the gift combo, or the gift of the mentor, will still be in play, so Quirin will still get 3 Destiny.
He doesn't get +1. He loses a swing. He loses a force. That's a big turning point. And this is kind of what we were talking about, Eric and I, before the game. Like, if you look at the way the game's been sequenced, and Joe set this up because he drew such a big hand, and I think Quirin should have matched him a little more. But, Joe's been the one playing the snipers.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the one who's had the force fields. Quirin has the 1 force field, but...
Yep. And Obi will swing in retaliation to Vader. That's going to be a hit so Vader's going to be hit here. So that
he has mana. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's massive. That's massive.
I mean, Joe started this turn with a 7-card hand. He's had all the stuff he needed, essentially.
Right, but I mean, he had a 19-card hand at one point.
True. Mm-hmm. See him going to add a Destiny with Tarkin. He still has enough to swing, so he hasn't swung with Vader yet.
He's also going to probably make Quirin lose 3 more force between the lightsaber and the Grand Inquisitor.
Okay.
I think what he probably will lose is Mara, Tarkin, and the Grand Inquisitor, and leave.
He's going to lose Vader.
Or then Vader and leave the Grand Inquisitor.
Okay, swings. He gets a 4 and a 5. That's enough to hit the Ahsoka.
Ooh.
Oh wow, that's also big.
Okay, no, he's got the I think I can handle myself. So that cancels that 2nd Destiny. So not enough to hit the Ahsoka.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have gone for Ahsoka there.
Yeah, I guess given that card's existence, I guess you should have went for Obi.
Just because Obi, I mean, you're drawing 2. Each one's -1.
The same one.
You still get rid of the extra 4. Obi's 1 more forfeit. Because you could be considering overflow here.
Right. He's getting.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there's a chance that Joe doesn't, or that Quirin doesn't lose Ahsoka.
Well, action is still on Quirin. We're still in the weapons phase.
Like if Joe draws reasonably low, he's already used his Tarkin draw.
Yes.
He draws 2 5s. If he draws 2 5s, actually, it's.
Here we go. Battle Destiny. 4 for Quirin.
So that's Vader, essentially.
9. So it's up to 9.
12. So 2 guys. So Vader and a guy. Yeah, it was never going to be more than that. So that's. So I would probably lose Vader, and depends if he has another Grand Inquisitor in hand.
I think he only plays 1. So there's a 4 for Joe. Now, if Joe draws... Oh, that's only a 1. Okay. He still wins the battle, so he's not going to have to stack a card on I Feel the Conflict, though. But
Joe gets to keep... Or Quirin gets to keep a guy. Doesn't flip Joe back, which is pretty big. Because now Joe has to have a Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I like...
Swing at Ahsoka there was pretty bad.
Yeah, that card's hard to remember, to be honest. And he's thinking like, oh, I'm going to use my green card on Ahsoka because that's what you're supposed to do. But I agree. Now, Quirin clearly has Gig at this point, the way this game is played.
Yeah, I like losing Tarkin there.
Yeah, because he took a Tarkin into hand with the cancels, so that makes sense.
Well, he might not even want to play Tarkin in this battle.
No, he didn't take him to hand. He redrew him, but he redrew him with Tarkin not enforcement.
Oh, that's correct.
This is Joe has like Orson in the deck. So.
What do you draw? A 5 and a 2.
Yes.
So he's going to activate 13, and then if he draws the top card of his deck, he'll have the 5 and 2, and he'll hit the Obi-Wan.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Quirin draws back up to 7. Joe did draw a card with the 7th sister.
Now first strike is very live.
Let's see. Quirin sitting at 19 life force. Joe sitting at 22.
Now first strike kind of ends the game, right?
And for those of you watching who are not aware, Quirin is in Germany, and it is midnight there right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And he's going to have this game and another game.
Mm-hmm.
And he just played a 7-hour game with Paul Myers.
But you know what? It might have been a 7-hour game, but he did win. That's the important thing.
Yeah, like I played Quirin in this tournament, and that feels like a long time ago.
That was what, like 7:30? Well, that was 10:30 your time.
10:30 my time.
And it's what 6 o'clock now.
Yep. And that was a pretty close match too. So he's had back to back. I won the first game, and then he came back. So coming back is always hard. He came back in both his games by double digits. And he looks like he might have to do it a third time if he wants to be a world champion. I think if you're Joe, you got to be feeling good. And this goes back to whatever it was 4 or 5 turns ago. I really feel like Quirin should have reinforced. I mean, maybe his hand he just didn't have the characters, but I feel like he really should have reinforced Yoda and Luke.
Yeah, I'm starting to agree as well. I liked at the time that he got his hand up back to 12. He played a card, stop damage. Seemed like he had enough where he was going to be beaten down.
Right. Like I honestly feel like if he had just played Jin to the site as a guy, it would have been a better play. Then Yoda never would have died.
Interesting point.
I'm wondering what characters Quirin could have left at this point too.
That's the thing. What does he have? He's Lando.
Lando. I know we know he plays the Han chewing the Falcon. So.
But now it's going to draw out the gig. He's going to draw out the gig, and he's going to sit in that drain of 4. He's going to lose 2 more cards. And Joe's going to be looking pretty good for a big win, I think. Right? More in the high teens.
Does he have first strike?
No, he still does not have first strike on the table. I don't even know if he has it in the deck, but
he has it in the deck.
Okay, he draws a 2 for the first Destiny for the swing. And there's the 5, so that's going to hit Obi.
Yeah. I would swing, I think, at the Grand Inquisitor here.
I think that's the only Grand Inquisitor that he's got in the... Okay, so he's gonna go for the easier target.
Grand Inquisitor's caused a good 4 damage this game.
Draws a 4 and throws a 3 and a 4. So that's going to easily hit the 5th brother. I mean, but the 5th brother is doing exactly what he needs to. He's got insane power right now. And you're not losing Mara or the Grand Inquisitor, so...
That's what I'm saying. I would have swung at Mara or the Grand Inquisitor. I probably would have swung at Mara.
Okay,
wow, Joe draws a 5 for Destiny, so... Yeah, he should be baiting out the Hojiks right now.
Ooh. Yeah, you like to see the Rays, not the EPP Rays if you're Joe, too. Ray does not much of nothing.
Yeah, I wonder why he chose to do that version. I guess Chris Kelly did this.
The Falcon.
Well, if you're playing a Gift of the Mentor.
Oh, he doesn't have the Gick. Oh my god. That's game.
So it's a 20 piece.
Wow. Joe wins that game by 21.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Well, if someone's going to win by 22, it's
it's Quirin. It's Quirin.
Yeah, that was
that was
something.
Okay, so they're going to take a 5-minute break. Actually, you know what? Before they take a break, I want to get Eric onto the our chat. He's the one who developed this new software. The next matchup will be the same matchup: HITCO versus Huntdown V. So and the differential was Joe by 21.
21.
Let's see if Eric is good to go.
Joe has to be pretty ecstatic.
Yeah, Joe's definitely feeling good right now at this point.
Joe's been the best player in this tournament.
Okay, so let me see.
Yeah, he's been playing incredibly well, and I was able to do like a couple playtest games with him. Like
sometimes it's like there's tournaments where like you look at someone and you look like, all right, like, you know, Bastion has more accomplishments, I have more accomplishments, but like Joe's played this tournament better than both of us.
Yeah,
and that's why he's in the finals.
I didn't even like he beat me in every playtesting game that we played. Like he was just he's just been on point. Just completely locked in for weeks. And
had him for a second. Eric, are you there?
I think so.
Okay, so yeah, I can hear you. I can't. Now I see you. So welcome. So for those who don't know, this is Eric Lanz. He's the developer of the interface that you just saw. He's also the person who developed Random Cal. So if you've been playing against Random Cal recently, this is the man you got to thank.
What you don't know, Dan, is RandoCal is actually testing that interface. So every game that RandoCal has played was with that interface, kind of secretly testing it and making sure it would all work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it looks great. I mean, everybody who's seen it in that first game loves it.
Good. So, yeah. We want as much feedback as we can get about the UI. We want to make it as good as it can be. And then I know there's a lot of talented artists out in the community too. You know, as good as it looks, it could look a lot better if we had some excellent art. So if you have ideas or can do some Photoshop work, please let me know.
Yeah. And so, how long have you been working on this?
Let's see. I think it actually the very first screenshot of it is probably still in the forums. If you go and look, I think I posted it under Star Wars CCG Arena project. And that's where QuickDraw basically first found this project and said, "Oh no, you can't post that on the forums. Take this," and we made it a secret. And that was December last year, so about a year total. Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. And we just kept it under wraps and decided to let Dan show it off. I don't know.
I was gonna say Matt got a hold of me last week and was like, "Hey, are you doing the finals?" And I was like, "Well, I hope to." And he's like, "Well, I got this super secret thing that I want to show you. So make sure you do the finals, and then we can get it on air for everybody." So yeah, it's looking amazing. I know you and I talked about it. We're gonna work on the tweaks and everything. It is still in beta. So what's the time frame you're looking at with this?
I don't know. I mean, the beta is pretty stable, as you can see. It's very usable now. I mean, you've only really shown the in-game UI. There's a full collection UI, a full merchant UI, a whole deck building system where you can add the virtual cards automatically. All kinds of interesting features there that aren't in classic Gemp. But yeah, I think really like probably a February timeframe is what we're really looking at to have it for everybody on the server.
And what interfaces do you have it on? Like what's OSs and stuff right now?
Oh, it's a WebGL project, but it's in Unity. So actually, you can run it on anything. So, for example, here's an iPad.
Okay.
Running it just fine.
So can I run it on
So
my
you
Android
could-
phone?
Yeah, anything Unity will build for, we could put it on an Xbox if we had the license. Yep.
Oh, hey Scott, let's get the license. I want to play this on my PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, you probably can't tell, but I designed this on a 4K television, so it's sort of meant to be played on a couch from a distance like that, with a controller. Like that's how this is meant to be done. Yeah.
Well, I already play Star Wars from a couch, so that sounds great.
Perfect. Yeah.
So is it touchscreen on a tablet?
Yeah, exactly. So Unity has
God.
this kind of
Like move the cards from your hand and stuff?
Yeah, virtual. Yep. You can drag the cards. There's a click UI. It's sometimes easier to use, but both are there. Yeah.
So why do we need Star Wars in person anymore?
Oh, come on. Whoa.
I know. Believe me.
You gotta get that into the client, then in person's dead. Yeah.
Damn, almost 4 more years of lockdown.
Oh, please,
When
no. I'm so
you first
crazy.
when you first posted that screenshot, I actually think I remember seeing that. Did you even expect that it would be? Did you expect that it was going to be so well received and that we were going to be showing it here at the World Finals?
No. Back then, I thought one, it would never be done. I just thought this project's impossible. I'll never be able to do this. And two, it really didn't seem realistic to have something like this ready for Worlds the next year. So it's pretty amazing that we got to this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. This is
Really impressive.
it looks so cool.
Yeah, I have to give a ton of credit to, of course, QuickDraw for shepherding the project through a PC and helping me sort of navigate all that. But also the Gemp devs, Apollyon and Echo Base Trooper are both amazing behind the scenes devs doing all this awesome work on Gemp. Everything you see in that client's only possible because those guys are doing what they do. So yeah, so this looks cool, but they're doing the hard work. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank you for
I know that they do a lot of work. I have no idea what's
It's okay.
actually involved.
Trust me, they're doing
But
a lot.
I
Yeah.
definitely appreciate
Yep.
their efforts.
Yeah.
Do you play Star Wars? Do you
I do,
actually get games
although
in?
honestly, this client and Rando Cal were sort of my ways to recapture a little bit of that childhood. I remember when my dad must have been 96, 97, bought me a box of Hoth for Christmas. And I opened it with my little brother on my bed and sorted all the cards out. He hated the game. He was 6 years younger than me. And I used to make him play the light side decks just so I could beat him with the dark side deck all the time. And so Rando Cal is kind of like my little brother mode. He's my new little brother. I can make him play the light side and he'll do everything I tell him without complaining. So that's what Rando Cal's all about. It's
You
kind of getting
program
that.
your brother. That's kind of amazing.
Exactly. Get that love for the game back. Make it fun again. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's cool. Eric and I played back at that time as well, 25 years ago.
Right.
We were teenagers, and we remember going to the Video Connection and the Boxborough Holiday Inn and getting winning a box of Jabba's Palace or Hoth or a PlayStation or something like that, and being super excited.
It was so cool.
Stuff. It's amazing that there's still new stuff coming, and Eric and I saw this for the first time live today, and we were like, oh, this is amazing. Wow, it's takes you back to those moments.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A 25-year-old game hasn't been in print for 15 years. It's still all this awesome stuff going on. I love the community. I love the game. It's great.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I think we'll have you on to Holo Theater coming up soon, just to go a little bit more in depth into the UI that you have, as well as some of the other projects you have. I know there's a few more things that you're working on. I'm not going to spoil anything right now. But yeah,
I don't want to say much, but I've been obsessed with Draft for a few weeks now. So, interesting.
Yeah, that one I'm really excited about. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, this interface looks really cool and everything, but the other thing that you're working on is.
I have no idea what it could possibly be. It could be virtual reality headsets that we can play Star Wars, and then there'll be the actual characters there.
We're actually the cards.
It's more cool stuff. Oh, and
yeah.
Dan, when you're playing with the camera in the control mode, you can use like WASD to move and the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. And so you can kind of like take the camera and go look at whatever you want on the board. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so I think we'll
Cool.
take like a
All right.
2-minute break, wait for our players to get ready for the next game. We'll be back in like 2 minutes, everybody. So stay tuned for the rest, the wrap up on the finals. Justin, you said you're going to be in and out. Are you going to be joining
I
us for
could
the next
probably
game?
start it maybe for like 5 minutes, but then I probably have to go.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, Eric and I will be here for the last one, and then we'll be good to go. So stay tuned for, and we'll get 2 minutes, man. Okay,
Cool.
bye. So, welcome back, everybody. Looks like Joe and Quirin are ready, so let's go into that match. It's going to be another Hunt Down versus HITCO. And here we go. Again, Joe won his first game by 21. He had 17 cards in lost pile. Quirin had 40. Let me pull up a quick graphic, actually, for that. No, I believe me, I know this is kind of a bothersome, but there it is.
Well, as you get the graphic up, I will tell you, being up by 21, if I am Joe, I'm waiting till Quirin does something,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to one of the other sites with 5 guys.
Yeah. And Joe's on the light side this time, so again, kind of the same setup. I mean, they're essentially playing the same effects and everything. So,
But I think like the fact that Joe knows he's up is such an advantage, because at any point in this matchup you can kind of make a huge stack that can't really be touched.
One card that we had Joe put in. So Joe was actually before landing on HITCO, he was deciding between Legend and Watch Your Step.
Yeah.
okay.
And we had to talk him out of Legend just because he doesn't have the seat time with it.
Yeah, you need a lot.
And we think it's the best. We thought it was the best deck, but like maybe this is just not the right deck for you this tournament. He did well with Watch Your Step, and he liked it. And we had a list, and we had it down. We had like 62 cards, and we were going to cut 2. And then we thought, wait a minute, we're going to be. We expect some Watto. We think there's going to be IE, CCT. What if we just played and Hunt Down? What if we just played HITCO and then throw a Speak?
Yeah.
And then actually against CCT, the plan was to give a Frozen Han so that Speak would cancel None Shall Pass.
Okay.
And then you'd have the force pile pulls against Watto and IE. And of course, 0 Watto were played, no CCTs were played. The IE gets taken out. So he's got this dead card.
Pitch it.
Hey, every card can't be useful in a deck, right?
Quirin does have a good list, I think, for Hunt Down B.
Quirin's getting out his activation. He already got the Malachor site. He went to deploy a flagship, so he's got his 2 main locations on his first pool, or his first.
He has another one. He has 3. He has 2 Mal.
Right. Yeah.
So I suppose that is one way for him to potentially win, which is get a huge activation boost. So one thing that we didn't talk about in the first game, that in a few of my playtest games, was if Hunt Down V, Justice, Hunt Down V gets a lot of activation. Vader's Saber, whoosh.
Oof.
You can actually play Vader, and then just like push him to the 2-0, flip your objective, and then just wait, and then bounce him to your hand.
So Paul is asking in the chat if with the Speak, if you guys thought about using the non-EPP 1 or the episode 1 farm.
No.
Okay.
No.
So Quirin just draws out, getting the activation out. I wonder if he's going to pull the. Do you know if he plays the other saber?
Oh, the other saber. No, he doesn't play the other saber. Oh, he plays the Jedi lightsaber.
Yeah, because he can still put that on Vader and make him lose a force.
Yep, and it still adds, and then he can get the other saber. That's pretty decent.
So Quirin draws to 12.
He keeps 1 in his force pile. So knowing that Joe sees that the Vader saber is on the Injustice, and he didn't pull the other saber, what do you if you're Joe? How do you feel?
I'm still patient. Joe's under no pressure. to make a foolish move. I would be shocked if he plays like a Luke right now.
Stacked on Justice is Darth Vader's saber.
The Grand Inquisitor, and then the Destiny Adder.
Vader's saber. Yeah. Darth Vader's saber is the other one that was seeing some play.
Yeah, I don't think I saw any.
Chris Kelly had it.
Okay. I was going to say, so, yeah, Justin and Miyashiro makes a good point. Dark Jedi lightsaber doesn't add because of the JCC.
No, but it adds to the, like, Vader pings one, and Lord, Quirin's on double Lord Vader, so he could, it's Lord Vader's tech still triggers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's helpful just to turn on, like, you are beaten.
Yeah, it's also helpful to have a fight that he can use Justice for to get his saber.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not going to a lightsaber fight with a blaster.
Okay, so there's a Yoda down to the JCC, and looks like Joe is going to draw a bunch of cards this turn. Draws up to
so
11.
If I'm Joe, what I think I do is Quirin probably makes a play now. If I'm Joe, I think I go next turn, draw one card, and then turn 3, play 3 guys and move Luke over. It's the safest line.
See that Joe played the Anakin Skywalker V to pull the Death Star 2 Chasm walkway. He also plays a Rescue in the Clouds to look at the top 3 cards and take a card in hand.
Joe's hand's been pretty good so far with rescues and Anakins to filter and hit the Yoda pull
and he
loses the chasm.
Yeah, he's gonna say he lost the chasm. He didn't save any force this turn though.
I don't know if I like losing. I mean, it's very unlikely to be helpful, but it's always good to just have this other site to go to, right? If Quirin has a massive force on Death Star 2 and Malachor, after a bunch of fighting, just being able to drop this other site and go there. So I don't know,
there's the Lord Vader.
Going to be a useless card, but.
So let me ask you two guys about this. So what is your take on the Imperial Enforcement version of the Hunt Down V? How do you guys feel about this? Because
well, I don't know. It's hard to tell because you know what happens when you toggle back and forth. You realize what you're gaining isn't that great. Usually it's P59 and Orison, and you're really I'm adding that for that. But then ultimately, I think it doesn't matter too much.
I mean, I do like the thought of using Orison with her blaster rifle to target a Jedi. You draw 2 Destiny, and it's +1. So there is that.
The thing is Enforcement's really good in the mirror. Not the mirror, against HITCO. And I don't know. I can see it both ways. I when I was planning for today, I was playing Enforcement, but I was playing one Maul's Sith Infiltrator for Diplo.
Okay.
I don't really like Enforcement because I didn't find that there was many times you wanted to use the redraw, and admittedly, and I felt like you weren't actually there was going to be some games where you just weren't ever going to be able to retrieve with it.
Yeah, HITCO pulls a shield though, which is actually really relevant.
True.
Simple Tricks is not a shield that actually gets used, and if people move to Vergence, it was pretty good. Weapon Lev, and you can hold serve and be the first one to battle plan.
Okay, so there's Lord Vader to the 3rd marker. So right there.
I don't know about Lord Vader to the 3rd marker. I mean, he's already adding +1. I would have put him to the other site and then funnel into the.
Quirin draws to 12 and saves 3.
I really don't like Lord Vader to the 3rd marker at all.
He's activating 13.
Because now Joe can go Luke to the other site and move his Yoda over, and Vader's stuck there draining for 2. It's very unimpressive.
I mean, you could always.
I'd rather leave Lord Vader as a 9 power guy by himself, draining for 2, and then Joe has to move to an adjacent site or Hoth, where like an EVP Mara could be really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if you're Joe, I was gonna say, if you're Joe, do you go Luke to the Ewok village? That way, Prophecy stays there.
That's also good.
I mean, Joe. I mean, being that Joe's up by 21 at this point, you don't care losing damage. You just want to make sure that your opponent doesn't gets under the 21.
I think we're gonna see Quirin bounce.
Like a Lana combo.
No, I think he's gonna bounce the Vader to his hand.
Okay.
Is that effect supposed to be once per turn, once per game?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so if you decline on the first opportunity, you can't use it again?
No, you can.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was an issue with Gemp that if you decline...
I think that was in playtesting.
Okay, they fixed that?
Yep. I've done it like late in the game.
According to Scott, according to Hayes in the chat, though, you have to control the site to do that.
Yep.
So that's the other thing.
Yeah, so people might have thought it wasn't might have thought it was still broken, but didn't control.
Okay, so there's a saber for Luke. There's an only Jedi carry that
the
weapon
reason why
as
that
well.
text was added, I remember, was people realized like if you ever actually wanted to fight Vader with a Jedi, if you didn't say control, you could like literally just Vader can just bounce back to hand, and then you can never actually fight him. So that's why that text was added. Yeah, this one's looking good for Joe. He gets to play, draws 3 good cards on his evac too.
Yeah, Rebel Leadership Padme and Anakin Skywalker V. So yeah, seeing that Padme is pretty good because once Quirin comes
Padme
down,
and Anakin, like,
yeah,
Quirin's just not going to be able to keep cards on the table. I mean, I think.
And there's a second Padme.
Yeah, that's really good.
So,
and he gets to move his Yoda. This is exactly what I wanted. What I was, explaining that Joe's going to want to do up 21. He's just going to want to stack a specific site, do 2 or 3 damage, stay flipped, let Visage hit Quirin. Now Quirin has the lightsaber stacked, which means at the most he's only got 2 weapons.
Ooh.
And Grimtash because of the bounce. We might see a concession and a going to bed.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the play that
Grimtash.
As soon as he bounced Vader there, I thought, does he have the Grimtosh? And
yep.
Crap. Name's drawing. Name's a blank right now. I was gonna say I don't think either of you guys were there for Continentals with the whole.
Oh yeah, someone got mad at him.
Okay, so congrats, you hit the Vader. Oh, yeah, that's
be over
big.
Soon.
There's a Mara though.
So here comes Mira.
Sorry.
Only 7.
Joe says in the chat, it's been that kind of day for me.
Yeah, like you need those days to win a tournament. Everyone's, everyone's good, and you need to hit like earlier Quirin. It was his day when he replayed, and it wasn't mine. And some of those things just happen. And
okay, that's good. He plays the You Are Beaten on the Luke. Brad, to answer your question, no. There's a little bit of a bug. If you click off the screen or anything, it minimizes. The blue screen is my background, so that's all. But I'm not going to worry about the rest. So,
if he has an Inquisitor here, which I'm sure he does. Well, I'm sure he has.
He's only got 6 cards in his hand right now.
If he plays an Inquisitor and he hits Yoda,
and then
the game's not over.
Yeah, and then Padme goes. But I mean, if you're Joe, you take the second Padme off of your evac control.
Yeah,
so Luke,
but then.
And Luke is still there.
Right, Luke's still there. It's a good one. He gets a turn of being flipped with HITCO.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe just spent some time there. I'm wondering if he has Clash.
Yeah, he does have 2/4 save in his force pile, so yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because he's 7 cards in hand and 2 saved. Clash makes a lot of sense.
Like, would you wait for him to deploy the next thing to Clash, or you?
I think I would Clash right now.
Yeah, I would too. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Like you said, it's just one of those days.
In the chat,
But he's got stuff,
I like how the chat's reminiscing about how last year Worlds was decided on quite a mercenary non-V. This year it's decided pretty much on Grimtosh.
Right.
I'm not sure it's been decided on Grimtosh. Joe did win the first game by 22 or whatever.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
I think it was actually probably decided. I stepped away during that little mini sack war, actually, where Quirin probably thought Sense Alter to the Mentor was good enough, and Joe had Sense you were beaten.
Yeah.
Old school.
Still old school cards at this point.
That's very old school.
I think you have to battle here, right? If you're.
Yeah, Yoda's game text is canceled. I think if I was Joe, I would have lost the force. Because what happens if Quirin draws
I don't see Quirin battling though.
What happens if
he
he draws a 6?
Okay.
Kills both guys. If he draws an Emperor here, both guys die.
Let's see. Kieran's going to take a card off the Justice though.
I think you take that risk. Like, at most, you're running 2 Emperors.
He takes the Grand Inquisitor off the Justice. Let's see if Joe responds by taking a card.
If he draws the Emperor, it's still a game.
Well, if he draws the Emperor or even like a High Destiny Inquisitor.
No, he needs the Inquisitor would not be High Destiny now, but because of Justice. Did you guys know? Want to know something interesting?
Mm-hmm. Always.
If you stack an Inquisitor on Sando Aquamonster, and then you substitute it,
mm-hmm.
and evac is used, it keeps its plus destiny.
I did not know that.
I was going to say, how do you figure that out? That's my next question.
It was in my hunt down V list that I sent this morning, because against evac, Tatooine system, and leadership, it's just smokescreen essentially.
Wow. Did Joe
just declined to draw, so he's going to go for the beatdown here.
I don't know about that one.
You lose the Padme here? Because he just took the second Padme off the evac control.
Yeah, but like, what is in his hand? Like, if he has Gek, this isn't great. I don't like Ketwall not fighting till the end with these little comments, like, not till matters. I always think you fight to the end.
So Joe made a major misplay of not playing aim high shield during that battle.
The tournament earlier. All right, guys, I'm going to take off.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, Justin. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, take care, guys.
Thanks for joining, Justin.
Take it easy.
Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. I don't know, like, Joe's not out of the woods yet, I agree. But, I mean, he got rid of one of the Vaders. I mean, Kieran's only playing 3. Or at least when he played yesterday. This is brand new. So a developer is essentially... he's been working on it for a year. This is a beta. This is eventually... we're hoping by February to have this come out. This is a new interface. Oh, Joe finally decides to play the aim high. I love giving him crap about that. I really do.
So Quirin drew up, which to me suggests he doesn't have Alana and he doesn't have the Gek, because when you battle there, you do it because you're trying to avoid the counter beat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this might be bad.
If he doesn't have
the Gek, it's over.
Well, if he has Lana, it could be fine.
Oh, I mean, what?
It's still not great.
It's not great. Okay, let's see, because the brother has, what, forfeit 5? Hey, here's that dead card.
Seem like he has anything. Quirin just said, "At least I'll be able to won't have to get to bed too late."
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he has the Lana, because action still is on Joe. Oh, yeah, he didn't have the Lana. There's I mean, he draws a 1, so it brings him up to 15.
He draws a 4. It's
Yeah,
+2 because
so
of the.
So 9 to 15, down by 6.
Decides to redraw it, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Draws a 3 instead.
No, I agree. Taking that card into hand is good.
Is he going to peel 7 here?
I don't know. If he peels 7, that's not good. That's because he's got 29 Yeah, he's got 29 cards in his life force. 9 in hand. Him peeling right now he's sitting at 38. Peeling 7 would bring him down to 32. So it's not over, but this is a program that Eric Lanz, he's the creator of Rando Cal. He's been working on for a year. It is inspired by Magic Arena. So you let loose the Chewy here.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised Joe didn't take a card off of evac control, or well, I guess it really wouldn't have mattered because he still gets the +2 because of the hatred card. But
So loses Chewy after a certain amount of thought, which is I'm wondering what he was thinking about there.
Maybe Yoda. That way he has he has 3 ways of hitting a character.
Yeah, he's peeling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. There goes a We Must Accelerate Our Plans and an Emperor Shuttle. They're still coming through. A Lord Vader, Emperor Shuttle, Cold Feet. So that's... And another We Must Accelerate Our Plans, so...
Those are great cards for Quirin to lose.
Oh, he lost...
Like, he doesn't want the shuttles.
No, he doesn't want the shuttles. He did lose a Vader, though.
Yeah, and then those are some high destiny, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
the card that he needs to win are Sniper, and you are beaten.
Yeah.
So if I'm Quirin and that's what I top decked, I'm happy with that.
The other question is, has he gotten to his other Vader at this point, though? Okay, Joe's going to draw.
Draws up both, leaving no force, which is always
it's always risky.
It's always risky against this hunt down, which plays for a strike.
Do we know that Quirin plays the first strike?
We don't, but
Actually, you know what? Let me double check on his list from yesterday, just to see what he has in it. Like I said, in his list from yesterday, he did have 3 Vaders, 2 of them being Lord Vader.
Yeah, Vader Saber is still on the Justice, so he doesn't. I wouldn't be worried about him playing Vader here.
Yeah,
and getting a second weapon.
So
Sniper Dark Strike
would be nice. Yeah, there's a go. Yeah. I was gonna say it doesn't look like Quirin is playing the first strike in his list from yesterday. Interesting. Going after. Oh, there's a blaster deflection.
I don't think Luke can battle this turn. I think
No.
it's the end of your next turn. So when you play it on your turn, light side can't battle, and then on your next turn he can't battle.
Yeah, that's one thing about this new interface. You can actually like it's all color coded. So just a cool little thing. Yeah, I still can't get over how nice this looks compared to Gemp. But okay, so there's the fifth brother that he took out from he used with the Imperial Enforcement last turn. I think if you're Joe, you got to lose the force here. That's a good card to lose. Getting that 2 off the deck. Yeah, this is a beta. Okay, so Quirin still had the Dark Jedi lightsaber.
Does he have URB? And that card would be fantastic for Quirin.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
It doesn't look like it. Because I think you would have played it before the battle.
Looking at his list from yesterday, he was only playing with 1, so... Okay,
so Mara swings at Yoda. He draws a 4.
And a 4, so that's going to be enough to hit the Yoda. So he'll actually... Joe will lose a card to the Great Inquisitor here. I think if you're Joe, you want to go after the Great Inquisitor. Make sure you get rid of that other lightsaber.
Yeah, I agree. Joe agrees too.
You know what? I like it when people agree with me. Especially with this game. It actually makes me feel like I'm learning something. And that should be enough to hit the Great Inquisitor. Now, Joe can't retrieve because Cower's on the table. You think you see Quirin taking a card off the Justice? Maybe the Vader lightsaber now?
I could actually see taking the other one. And the reason is you're worried about the counter beat again. And the other one, if you don't have any tricks, you can add a hatred card, and then your objective, your destiny will be +2.
Okay.
And so then you'll have this power 7 guy. Your destiny will be total destiny's +2.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think
ideally, you keep Mara because you want to swing back at whatever Joe fights with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty hard. It's hard to say.
Swinging at Rey, draws enough to hit her. I was going to say, because it looks like... Let's see. Quirin grabbed a... He did grab the blaster deflection, so... Oh, no, he's got to lose the Grand Inquisitor. Okay, Joe will take a card off. He took the...
Leadership.
Okay. Now, this will offer him... Yeah, he takes the Leia into hand. So, I mean, him throwing out the Leia will at least make it so that unless, like, Luke is hit here... he would only just lose the Leia.
Quirin draws a 4. It's plus, so he draws 4, and it's +2 total.
Mm-hmm. That brings him to 22. Oof. Joe's got to lose 5 now, though. Actually, no. Rey still has her forfeit.
Yeah. Quirin can retrieve with domination.
Mm-hmm. Surprised Joe hasn't played his Simple Tricks and Nonsense shield.
One card that's not on table yet is Battle Plan
True.
or Battle Order, and I'm not sure Yeah, playing Aim High there was probably not the best.
I will say this: I don't let Quirin losing the Grand Inquisitor there before. I didn't like that because you could have lost like the Mara, and then lost the Grand Inquisitor after he would have forced the Yoda.
Well, he could have lost Rey first, and then he would have to.
Well, no, I'm saying like okay, so you lose the fifth brother, then you lose. Oh, okay. Okay, I thought the fifth brother had only a forfeit of 5. Okay, never mind. Because if you lose the other two, because now Mara is sitting by herself, and this has so much beatdown potential for Joe. I mean, right now Quirin only has 5 cards in hand. You know that. He did just retrieve a Vader, so the Vader goes what to?
When you retrieve, it goes to your use pile.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that, everyone.
It's the redraw is when you take it into hand.
Okay, that's right. Quirin concedes. Wow. You know what? Congrats, Joe. Congrats, man.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, Quirin is an awesome guy. Justin, before off stream, told a great story about like Worlds last year and how like Quirin's just a great guy. So congratulations to Quirin for getting second and doing extremely well.
Oh yeah.
But I'm a teammate of Joe, and fuck yeah. Go Joe.
Language. I will say this though, Quirin played his mind out on the last game against Paul. Like, he couldn't have made a mistake to get to the finals. So him playing like he did, wow, was insane. But yeah, Joe, congrats, man. You earned it. Like, I don't know. Like that was an insane finals. You know what? Let's see if Joe is available to get on to our chat. And that way we can actually interview him a little bit, and we'll talk about like his win and everything. So let me see if I can get a hold of Joe. I mean, you got to feel like he's got to be so happy.
Dude, I'm psyched for Joe. He loves this game, and he's played this game for so long. And I don't know Quirin and how long he's played it. But it's got to feel great to a first time
world champ. Not only that, like he's bringing it back home. It's back home in America. I know that's a little like, come on, but yeah. Let's see if we can get Joe.
Yeah, he said he's hopping on Discord.
Okay, I will get him on Discord. Give me a second. So as soon as I get everything set up.
Yeah, Joe is the light side player there. Joe, on this weekend was 15-1.
Hey Joe, you there? Here we go. Let me.
Hey Joe.
Hey.
Hey Eric.
I like the Santa hat.
Thank you.
How does
Congratulations.
So how does this feel as a Christmas present, man?
I'm.
You sound a little tired.
It's been a goal for a while.
You sound a little tired. Is that coffee or is that
couple
some
weekends? Yeah, the online is a grind. But
yeah. So you played last week. You go what 0-6. You actually beat Justin Desai. You gave him his only loss. Yesterday you went what 3-1.
3-1. I lost to Jared.
Okay.
J-Nap.
And then today you beat Fernando, who coming into this Worlds was probably one of the hottest players out there.
Fernando's such a cool story. I love that. I was telling people about that. Like, family and stuff. I was like, oh, it's so cool. He just like came out of nowhere,
Oh,
learned
yeah.
the game, and doing awesome. Yeah,
So
so cool.
He started in July, and that's insane to me. Like,
Yeah,
the guys, and
he's only going to get better too, because there's just some
Yeah.
basic stuff he doesn't know that I caught as he was playing. That I'm like, oh man, I want to talk to you after the game and tell you like, hey, here's a tip. Like,
yeah,
he's
and
just going to get better.
I will say he joined up on Slack, so that's an easy way to talk to him. Then
Cool.
you beat Chris Kelly, who not as slouchy as his nose, right? I mean, he won NPC a couple of years ago. So, and
Chris Kelly, he knows what he's doing, especially with the decks. You know, we were just mirror match Hunt Down V versus HITCO, and he definitely knows what he's doing with HITCO. Though apparently he didn't know the Saber Persona rule. Little known trick. You can get back that Saber, and if they place it out of play, still play it, and if they don't, you got
well, I mean, I'm gonna say this, like, a lot of people didn't know that rule, and we had like 4 or 5 people in our Twitch chats coming up with it. We had Eric on the Slack chat. I know I sent it both to.
I was pretty sure, but I wanted to make to double check.
Oh, and then that finals game against Quirin, like, holy crap! Like the first game,
I was expecting the Hujix that first game.
Oh yeah, and like you're looking at it right now, like you're looking and like looking back, like how can you not expect he has the Hujix? He's got a decent hand. You've battled into it.
Right.
And you see
I wasn't going for the blowout there anyway. I was just solidifying my position. Really, it's all about knowing your lines of play. So like at one point I drew Sniper for Destiny, and then I tracked it around and drew it into hand with Seventh Sister. And then I could have used it on Jin to start a drain of 3, but I just held it so that when I hit Luke in a battle, I was able to Dark Strike him and kill him, because I knew like the drain of 3 with Jin, it doesn't matter. Like, it'd be nice to have, but really the battle's what's going to matter.
Yeah, that was 100% the right play. I don't know. So I thought you should have swung at Obi-Wan, but it turned out because he didn't have the Hujix that it worked out for him.
Right. I swung at Ahsoka and he played the female interrupter. I was like, oh crap, that was just a dumb mistake, unforced error. And then because of that, Obi's left stranded and he has to peel the game. Like that mistake kind of worked out.
Hey Joe, so you went 6-0 today?
I went 6-0 today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what the first 2 turns against Quirin you just drew up?
Yeah.
What were you searching for something? What was going on there?
No, so I missed my sight pull. So I needed to draw for that because I couldn't be way behind in activation. And the second turn, and then he just drew some. I was playing Monarch and Grimtosh in both decks, and I got to play the Grimtosh game 2. But game 1 on the verify, he saw like when I missed a sight pull turn 1, he saw the Monarch in the deck. So he only went up to 12, and I was able to draw up to 19. Basically, looking at his deck list from last week, I think his HITCO is advantaged against Hunt Down V because he's got like double Gift to the Mentor. He's got 2 senses in an altar. He's got a lot of tricks. And I was basically worried about him coming down with Gift to the Mentor, sensing all my tricks, and just like blowing me out. And so I was like, I just need to draw up for all my stuff. I need to get a force field. I need to get my 2 senses. I just need to get everything. And because I had the Monarch and he was hand capped and I was not, I was able to get all my answers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how did it feel playing the Grimtosh in that second game and getting the Lord Vader? Like he
was keeping his hand at 12 the entire time, right?
Yeah.
And then I played Luke and it flipped him back and he took Vader and Saber back into hand that put him up to 14, and I was like, oh, okay. I had actually, on a rescue peak earlier, I had a choice between Grimtosh and the Obi and an EPP Obi, and I was like, I just need to make sure I have a Grimtosh and make sure to keep him hand capped so I can keep a handle on his trick. So I took the Grimtosh just preemptively, even figuring he would stay at 12.
Yeah.
But that was probably something he wasn't even thinking of. He's like, okay, I want to go attack Luke. I need to be aggressive, having lost the first game, and then that put him over the limit. And yeah, that's tough.
What was your thought? Great play. Like as soon as you got to 12, and Justin Desai, who's also commentating, he's like, he's going to take him in a hand. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, I hope Joe has his Grimtosh that we convinced him to put it in last night. No Hujix, right?
Yeah, no, it's got an escape pod combo and a Grimtosh and no Hujix in the deck.
Wow,
Yeah.
no Hujix. It's insane. did you feel any like nervousness not playing the Hojiks in the deck?
So I didn't play it last week either. It's got double Odin combo that helps protect, and it's got so much defensive stuff, right? You can use Clash as a defensive thing. It's got double blaster deflection. It's got double Odin to save forfeit. Like, you just so rarely get overflowed. And so last week I didn't have any Hojiks. I tried to put it in last night because I did add the Grimtosh and Puller.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you not play a Hojiks once you have those two in? But it was just like it didn't fit, and you don't get overflowed that often, especially it's got evac control. Like, there's just so much, and you play knowing that you don't have Hojiks. So it works out.
So I know normally after Worlds and everything, everybody gets together. They play some board games. They play everybody's favorite game, Resistance, Avalon, whatever you want to call it, Secret Hitler. How are you going to celebrate tonight?
I'm gonna go over to my parents. We normally watch the Seahawks game every weekend, and I had to miss it. I missed it last weekend on purpose because we were playing the Giants, and I was like, who cares about the Giants, right? And then
they lose.
We lost. So I was like, I want to commentate Star Wars, so I missed it last weekend, and then this weekend I missed it again.
But they played the Jets. Come on.
But they're still all over there, so I'll go over there and have some dinner, and yeah.
So you wait. So how long do you think it's going to take Scott to get you the obelisk?
I can wait. I've waited a while. I can wait.
You know what? Maybe can you wait till like the NPC? That way we can get some like nice pictures of you holding it.
Sure.
So.
I gotta say, this year has been 2020. For as awful as the rest of the year's been, has been an amazing Star Wars year. Team 5 won indoor, won the NPC. Matt won the Texas Mini Worlds. No?
Oh yeah, Matt won the Texas Mini Worlds. You're right.
They won Texas Mini Worlds, and then I won Worlds. So the only major we didn't win. Oh, and 2/3 of our members were on the Euro Cup. It was Bastion, and then MHT and
Justin Branch.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying the Bastion is a part of Team 5?
Bastion is not, but two of the three members on the winning Euro team were from Team 5. So the only one we didn't win was Desai took the OCS.
Yes. You know what?
That's on me, Joe. That's on me.
Right.
You losing to Paul Myers.
Paul Myers had a great run this year too. Between top 4 at Worlds, and finals at the OCS, he's a force.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this. I know you weren't watching the game between Paul and Quirin. I know you weren't, at least in the chat.
I was watching their life forces in the stressed out. I knew.
I was going to say, how nervous were you watching?
At one point, Quirin went to 20, and I was like, "All right, well, let's figure out a Diplo plan. Let's think through how." Yeah.
So, did you contact like Eric, Hayes, all your members?
Yeah. We were brainstorming and I was looking at his list from last week, and it was something I had in mind when building decks last night. It's not ideal matchups, but I mean, as you can see, Quirin won the match with the same deck I had, so it could barely though, so it definitely could go either way.
So, do you regret not doing commentary for today? I know you were I know you said okay. No. I because it's interesting. I know so we have a Slack chat that is strictly for the streamers and everything, so that we can coordinate for all this. And I know you were saying how, I'm going to be available once I lose in round 1. Well, right. You kind of weren't available until just now.
I still plan on doing commentary for Worlds though. I'm gonna go and replay my replays. I'm going to do commentary on my replays and do a video tournament report of all the games.
Write a tournament report too. I would like to see.
I'm not gonna write
come
one.
On.
It takes so long to write tournament reports. I don't know how people do that, but I will stream a video tournament report and talk about my decks and choices and
I like
games
that.
And everything.
Are you going to do every game throughout this event?
Yeah.
So you're going to do what?
Yeah, some will be faster than others because it'll be replays. So I can.
You're going to do 16 games.
Yeah,
you promise.
I mean, but some of them would be quick. And you're gonna see the same matchup over and over. Once I kind of discuss the match, you're gonna see a lot of Hunt Down V versus HITCO.
You know what?
How many games did you play this weekend?
So you played 4 yesterday and then 6 today.
No, how many Hunt Down V HITCO matches?
I don't remember. Yes, I can't even recall yesterday. Today, I had Hunt Down V HITCO against Fernando, and then I had my Hunt Down V versus Legend.
I was gonna say,
Slightly
yeah.
different. And then both Quirin and Chris Kelly were both this flip mirror.
So 5 out of 6 games were
5 out of
the
6,
mirror.
and the
Wow.
other one was Hunt Down V versus Legend. Yeah, and I won all 6 of them. So it's
Can't complain.
it's yeah. There's
complain.
definitely some variance, but there's also a lot in how you build the deck and how you
Mhm.
approach the game. Like if you have the right game plan, you can work around.
Yeah, I noticed like in your HITCO you had 2 Padme, so you were kind of ready for the Hunt Down V. You played stuff like that. You played what, 2 Blaster Reflections?
Yep.
You had what? You had the Clash. You had the Saris,
Clash, double
the
Saris,
normal
yeah.
stuff. You didn't have like. Also, I mean, you kept like I know Quirin played Rey. You had Rey with lightsabers, so you had a bunch of dudes with lightsabers.
Yep.
Just no Hojiks.
No.
So I'm gonna say this
Need
though.
it.
I will give you crap though for not playing the aim high when you should have.
I know. As soon as he retrieved from it, I was like, ah.
That's all.
I think
deserve.
you probably should have played simple tricks there, actually.
I thought of that too, and I was focused on other things in my hand, and I was not too stressed about that. I was trying to figure out lines of play, but I should have. Definitely minor mistake.
Major misplay, Joe.
I'm fired.
So you won Worlds. I mean, what else is there for you? I mean, like what you've won. So have you won the SoCal Grand Prix?
Yep.
Okay, you
In
won
2015, I won the SoCal Grand Prix and the NPC, and then I got 3rd at Worlds. Desai won that one. He beat me, and then he beat you in the finals.
Yeah, and then I think this is the year that you won the Player of the Year as well.
Yep. And then in 2017, I missed Worlds. I was in Australia. 2017, Phil won. Him and I were matched up in the round of 8, and we just built the same decks, played each other, swapped decks. He beat me, went on to win the event.
There's no like having a player or having a teammate win is always just as good as winning of yourself. And it kind of sucks that you guys played in the first round, but I will say this: watching Phil play against Johnny Chu in the finals was an amazing finals.
Yeah,
so,
it was.
And then I saw again you play. I know you've come really close in Continentals, or you played against Greg Shaw.
I lost Greg in the finals.
Again, great game by both players. One of the best plays of games I've ever seen. I had the honor of doing commentaries for the great game. So you've won the NPC. You've won. The only one you haven't won is Endor. Why can't you win in your own backyard, man?
Yeah. I guess I got to keep trying.
I mean, hey, there's next year. I cannot wait to giving you a handshake, saying congrats in person. I mean, it's not the same as not being there in person. This is the next best thing and everything. But yeah, watching you play this weekend was a joy. It was an honor, and I'm glad to see that you won Worlds. Congrats, man! You had that monkey off your back, and you know what? You brought the trophy back to America, USA. So
for a fashion streak, he'll be back next year.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And like I said, Quirin, again, you played really, really well. Congrats to all of our top 8. I want to thank everybody who did play. The 100 players. This was the most people that we've had for Worlds, and as long as I can remember.
Yeah, and I saw before I went to play my second game, that new interface looks amazing. Like it seems like Star Wars is just getting better. It's on just such an upward trajectory. It's awesome.
Yeah, and we got a lot to come. I know that. I know the PC is going to be, or the PC is going to be working to make the game as better as it can. We got a lot planned for next year. Next year is actually the 20th anniversary for the PC.
Wow, that's crazy.
We're going to be trying making it as big as we can. So I know Joe's on the marketing. Eric, you're not on the marketing, right? You're
me? No.
No, but I know Joe is. So we got a lot. I'm going to have a lot planned to make it as big as we can. So that's going to be great. Again, yeah, the new interface has a target date of February. But
cool. Wow, that's soon. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The web interface will still be available too. It's just
you have you can use either on.
Is the app Windows only, or what is?
No, it's Windows. According to Eric, you can play it on Windows, Apple, Android if you want. It's also touchscreen. So we had a little bit. We did have an interview with Eric in between your games. That's why we had a little bit of a break.
Okay.
Wanted to make sure we
Eric's
got
the
Eric on.
designer.
Yeah,
of
he's
the,
he's
Vader.
also did Rando Cal too. So
Yeah,
if you
that's
played
so
any
cool.
games against Rando, that's kind of cool. So
Yeah, Eric. So the design and interface revealed that Rando Cal's been beta testing the interface the entire time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which is I thought pretty cool.
Combining those two projects.
yeah, he said he's been working on it for a year. So Joe, I got one more task to ask you that you need. You're gonna get. I mean, this is not a test. This is a request. You got to come in on. You got to come on Wednesday. You got to make Wednesday available.
What time is it?
6 p.m. our time.
Okay.
If
I will
you
make
can.
that happen.
Okay.
I will make that happen.
I mean, it's just like winning the Super Bowl. You got to go to Disney World.
Okay. And an interview with you is the same as Disney World.
No, it isn't.
In this day and age,
you
it
know,
is.
I'll make sure. I'll make sure I get Jerry on. That way, it's a little bit fun, more fun. But
Cool.
yeah. Hollow World. Thanks, Chris. So yeah, again, congrats, Joe. Congrats to all of our members of the top 8: Quirin, Paul Myers, Chris Kelly, Justin Desai, Fernando. I'm not going to pronounce your last name because I'm going to butcher it. Quirin, Bastion. How can I forget Bastion? Who am I forgetting? Oh, Jared Napolitano. Yeah, that's right, our Twitter guru. I want to thank everybody who streamed, everybody who did commentary this weekend, especially Eric. Eric, you came on twice, so you helped me out and everything. Always. Again, I want to thank everybody who worked on this. Chris Schoenthal giving out your time. Casey Anus. Bill played and ran the TD.
And it's not.
It was a TD for Mike. He did amazing.
Mhm.
And
And
Schoenthal. The whole thing.
Schoenthal, come on. How could we not Schoenthal?
Ran so smoothly for and the Gemp team too. Like there was some lag last weekend, a little bit, but not way better than like the NPC or Texas. Like
I think we ironed out all the issues. I know some of the issues are the streamers bouncing in between the games and everything, clicking on the cards and everything. I will say this, with this new interface, it kind of makes it a little bit easier, so you can actually see the cards instead of just like trying to look on them and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, there's so many people to thank. If I'm forgetting anybody that made Worlds what it is.
Hey Dan, thank you for streaming all weekend, doing an excellent job with providing coverage.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. I mean, why play when you can do this?
Well, Joe's got an argument for why.
I think I go back and forth on that. Yeah,
that's fair. You know what? That's a good. I don't see myself making it to win anytime soon. I mean,
you made the cut at Texas.
Everybody made the cut at Texas. So again, well, again, thanks to everybody, and you know what? Congrats, Joe. It's been great, and we'll see everybody on Wednesday for Hollow Theater, and we'll see everybody next year at the next event.
Thanks.
Take care, everybody.